The other day, I called a white woman an angry white racist. And I'm going to tell you why I did it. Tell you the facts of the matter first, and then I'll give you a little analysis, opinion. So on Tuesday, I went to the Budget and Candidates Night in Hartford. It's the town I live in here in Vermont. Basically, they present the budget, and then candidates who are running for position, elected positions, answer questions. For context, I served on the select board for 2 years. Ended a year ago, have been relatively disengaged since, but as just doing my civic duty of being an informed citizen, I said, okay, I'll go to this candidates meeting. Super boring, but I'll go and see who they are, ask questions if I have any, and of course I do. So went down and I asked a question about efficiency. You see, the board meetings are very long, and when they're so long, people who are parents especially, but people who are busy, can't participate in the meetings. And I feel like that's not good for our democracy. So I asked, hey, what do you guys think about making this more efficient? Do you have any ideas? And there was this woman who sat, a couple rows back from the microphone, who said, you're part of the problem. You're there, right? At me. Now I'm trying to hear the answers. Turn around, and I don't know if I've met her before. I don't think I have, right? Didn't recognize her. So I said, excuse me, I'm trying to hear the candidates answer the question. She's like, she's sitting with a couple other women, and there's this thing, right? We all know this thing from middle school on. The mean girls. That's what they are. I know it's going to sound upsetting for people to hear, blah, 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 but inside, in your heart, you know it's true. There are a group of women who it's kind of like the generic thing that happens. They sit up near the front, teachers pet a little bit, ask all the gotcha questions or the easy, whatever, right? So her friends are sitting there passively fine. They're fine with this happening. I'm not, because I'm trying to listen. Now, when I was on the select board, an elected official, you work for the people. People have questions, even if they're I don't know, annoying questions, you still answer them. I get that. Now I'm at this meeting just as a citizen, just expressing my own curiosity and trying to hear answers. Participate in the democratic process. So she's interrupting that, right? It's pretty unpleasant. After my questions are answered, I went and sat next to her. And she goes, who? And I said, what's your name? I just wanted to engage with her and be like, who is this person? What in the hell? Right? She won't look at me. She's like, it's none of your business. And yeah, it triggered a little feeling in me. And for those of you who are white watching this, I know most of you are white. And listen, I love the whites, okay? Actually, all my exes are white, whatever. So you guys, most of my community is white. So this is not an attack broadside at everyone. It's just an insight to what it feels like to be a minority, which I'm sure people who are handicapped feel this way. Women feel this way. Just when you go somewhere and you get mistreated, you can't help but wonder, a little piece of you, it's like, how much of this mistreatment is being determined or affected by my identity? So I said to her, do you want to know what this minority experience feels like? An angry white racist. This is what it feels like. And she grabs her phone. She's holding her phone. She said, oh my gosh, I'm going to tell Facebook. I said, have fun, have at it. Whatever. Of course she was offended. I called her a racist. But here's the thing. First off, everyone's a racist. Everyone's got prejudice. Everyone's got whatever, right? There's either people with prejudice or liars. That's the truth. I think the reality is we all have these things we've got to work on, and we all try to be better. Anyway. The thing that really frustrated me about it, just kind of reflecting on all this. So then she said, the moderator interrupted, hey, what are you guys doing? And she said, Rocky decided to call me a racist. And then I was heated, and I said to the crowd, I said, if you want to know what advocacy's about. And the moderator, Chuck, he's a friend of mine, he was like, Rocket, please. So I said, you know what, you're right. I sat down. And he was right. I was being disruptive, not cool. So anyone watching this, I apologize for being disruptive in that meeting. I was frustrated, and here's the thing that frustrates me. It's not the mistreatment, the snippy, trippy questions. It's the hypocrisy. That's what pisses me off. These women who sit up front, the mean girls, they're all rah, 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 DEI, inclusivity, blah, blah, blah. Fine. Okay, fine. But then me as a private citizen, she finds it her right to chirp down at me, to be interruptive, to be speaking in this menacing way. It wasn't like a genuine, hey, can we talk about what you think would make the meetings more efficient? It was just her trying to be cruel. And to talk down in this way where she feels like she can punch down at me while I'm trying to ask my question, then I'm going to go sit down and try to engage with her, and she won't even look at me. She won't even engage with me. And in fact, she's going to go full Karen and tell the teacher, right? Carolyn Bryant, look her up. She's the one that got Emmett Till killed. Amy Cooper, look her up, New York City, Central Park. This woman at the meeting, whose name I still don't know, is no different than those women. The type of women that will pick a fight or punch down at a minority because she thinks that we are supposed to comply to her wishes. Not me. And that when we are stand up for ourselves, we're too persnickety. We're out of place. And she's going to call the teacher. And she's going to call the cops. And she's going to blah, 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 blah. And try to ruin my experience, to bully me out of the democratic process. Not me. And ultimately, look, at the end of the day, doesn't bother me much. You know, it was frustrating in the moment, but it doesn't bother me much. What really frustrates me is that I am an outspoken individual who has no problem speaking up for myself. Lord knows. But there are a lot of minorities, including my own family members, who don't have the same mastery of English, who don't have the platform to speak up publicly, who don't have the risk tolerance, the conflict tolerance, whatever. There's a lot of people who put up with this stuff all the time from women like her and people, not just women, but people like that. And again, it happens, but don't be a hypocrite. Don't be out there touting that you're so inclusive, blah, 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 and then be all like this. Not on my watch. Not on my watch! Anyway. Can't faze me. That's the story. See you guys later.